should happen. And I also want to confirm that in terms of the legal anchor as read by the team, that is correct. And also to declare that whoever read this was my boss at the Attorney General. When I served there, was my immediate boss at the Attorney General, and Amos Wako was the top boss then. PCS, we were concerned, and we called the governor for Nairobi. Basically, first, there was a lot of this issue was signed and then went public. So the public participation process was not properly followed. It was being done post facto. It was being done after the signing of the agreement. It even had a clause saying that if anything new comes out of public participation, it will be put in. And Dan Ameo, you'll agree that is untidy way of doing agreements. You first do public participation, bring on board everything that ought to be there, and then it should be there. Now, I agree that this agreement is required under the Urban Areas and Cities Act, and none of the previous Nairobi governments have actually done this agreement, and therefore the agreement is welcome. But my reading of the agreement, particularly of clause 7, on financing of the agreement, is so vague. Now, Governor Sakaja tells us he has fundraised 80 million out of this, 80 billion, sorry. We don't know where that 80 billion is. In fact, when you look at clause 7, it's not a clause, it's now an article because it's signed. It's very vague. The parties shall jointly agree on the modalities for financing. So that's why one would wonder, this is a team, a top-heavy team with the national government ministers sitting with county government ministers, periodically deciding on planning and all of these things. How is that different from a cabinet secretary, a cabinet of the county sitting and planning its own functions? And the functions that have been picked are actually county functions. So if you're meeting and planning on these functions, what is the county cabinet doing? Is it also meeting and planning functions? So this makes it look like national government has actually come in to run the county government. National government function under the Constitution is to set national policy, is to set standards, is to provide technical support, and of course to implement their own functions, amongst which for Nairobi a very important one that you raise is security. And I didn't see security mentioned as one of the areas of collaboration, and security is purely the function of national government, but you can cooperate and collaborate on that function. So with this vague provision, anybody reading this agreement is unclear on what national government is coming to assist county government to do. It's not very clear at all. So we would want to know exactly what extent. We've not seen any mention that national government will be giving conditional grants to support areas, for instance, where you must secure the diplomatic missions and things. I would have wanted to see that role of cooperation and collaboration that retains the distinctiveness of the two levels of government. But here, it looks like we have merged the two cabinets and we have asked them to run Nairobi City County. That will be a backdoor way of implementing 187, even though you are saying the agreement is under 189. We need clarity that in this instance, we are giving technical support. In this instance, we are helping to enforce standards. In this instance, we are giving conditional grants for the counties to deliver. I don't see any of that in this agreement. Now, recently, if we can use the floods that happened in Nairobi recently. Once the floods happened, I think there was all manner of jokes about the flooding in Nairobi, and I think the Nairobi governor took the flak for it. All the mention of Lake Sakaja and all these other things that were being said. But what the Kenyans failed to note, that Kenha and Kura are in charge of the roads in Nairobi. The Kura roads are county roads, but national government is yet to deliver the money for the county roads. RLMF, all the money of RLMF is still with the national government. So in Nairobi, effectively, whoever is doing roads is national government, both county roads and national government. So if there's a weakness on delivery around drainage and roads in Nairobi, it's not the national government, even though county government has a role. Simply because the national government has resisted to wind up the parastatal holding county fund, still holding on to those monies, has not given those county as conditional grants for county to implement. But of course, when it happens and lives are lost, the governor has to take the flak for it. So we would want to see, as we give you accolades for at least attempting this collaborative agreement, it would be good to see real efforts that people can monitor accountability for and be able to see through this particular issue on roads is going to be better in April when the rains come, or this is already. We would want to see, and hopefully PCS will tell us in the current budget which are part of that 80 billion, particularly at least for this coming financial year, slotted in that will help us to see what is happening. I think I can stop.
Professor.
Thank you very much, Chair. I also would like to raise a few issues in relation to the legal context. I think it has come out very clearly. But I want to understand cooperation their way.